Good evening, welcome back to Assembly 2012. My name is, as always, still Frankie the Crazy Belgian, and we have been looking here at the 4K intro competition. And I am here now in our lovely Compost Studios with my good friends, our Norwegian Belgian conspiracy. We have Menes, Tolle, and Sesh. Welcome, guys. Good evening. Let me start off a small war here by saying I found the competition to be bleh, all bland.
Well, I thought there were a few that stood out, but overall it could have been better. There were, to my taste, like 3 really good things, and then a lot of, yeah, what you said.
Bleh.
Or meh, or yeah.
So
words to that effect.
Okay, Tolle.
It started off bad because we started with an intro without sound. Can you really do that nowadays? Have a 4K without sound? I don't think that's good anymore for 4K. Then it got better, but there were a lot of intros that were blah, but some interesting ones too. So I mostly like it if there are different scenes and not just the one effect playing for 5 minutes. So
I see what you mean. Sesh, how do you see this? So, do you also say well everything was like bland, or were you very happy with the monotonous flyby intros that?
Well, that's kind of what I like, but personally, but I think I'm not as negative as you guys are about this. I think it was quite varied. The few things I thought were really good did some things good. Like, for instance, the MFX had a great soundtrack. That was insane for a 4K, I think. But the graphics didn't look all that cool. The effect was nice, but when the color scheme was so okay, and I found that to be kind of the same with a lot of the entries. The ones that weren't boring, like some of them were boring. I'm not going to name names,
but now that you mentioned, for me, the combo saver, the MFX intro,
yeah.
If you take away the music, it's exactly the same as the 5th or 6th entry, the experiment in the box, with all the light particles inside the box. It's exactly the same if you take away the music. So, yes, soundtrack okay, but on the technical level, what's the difference? I don't see any such.
I'm not going to challenge you on that one. The music was the lifesaver there, but I mean, I'm speaking as a spectator. If the soundtrack is good, a lot is saved for me. Like that will. I'll let a lot of things fly if the soundtrack is good. That's maybe because I'm ex-musician, but that works for me.
it's a package that you're watching. It has to have some good music, nice visuals, and MFX delivered a nice package.
Yeah, they did their thing.
A very good intro, so I liked it too. But indeed, if you take away the sound, then it wouldn't be the same demo anymore.
No.
So, Tolle, oh sorry Menes, I'll come back to you in a moment. So Tolle, I'll follow up on that one. You said, well, okay, it's a package. What was missing from the other packages then?
Yeah, like I said earlier, only having one effect and then doing nothing with it, and having no sound or it's okay to have a few notes playing, general MIDI. But yeah, that doesn't save your intro, and a lot of what makes a good demo is the combination of everything. So you need to have a nice scene, a nice effect, nice colors, because red was in this year, so there were a lot of red used, and that is important for me. That it's a package. It's well thought out, and it all fits together.
Okay, I'll come back to you later, Menes. I interrupted you earlier. So
I was sort of going to touch on the same thing. A lot of the intros I felt really. People need to get together with a designer, someone who knows a little bit about colors.
Definitely.
And there were good ideas, I felt, in this compo that were just ruined by people having no idea how to present them well. There were I think 5 intros where my eyes were literally bleeding.
I thought I heard the dripping sound in front.
yeah, that was me.
Okay, good. Now, Tolle, as you said, in the days of General MIDI, today with 4 Clang,
Yeah.
should people still be allowed to use General MIDI?
Well, you can do whatever you want. If you want a demo with just MIDI, you can do that. You can, but don't expect to win with that.
Yes. Well, you can also show one rotating cube, but you're not supposed to do that. Is it?
Yeah, you will not win with that. But yeah, we have these tools now. You can basically. It used to be that when you wanted to make a 4K, you had to put in a lot of work just to get a rotating cube. Nowadays, you just get your compiler. There is example code on the net. You get Crinkler, and in about half an hour you have
shader minifier. You have a lot of tools to get it where you want it to be. And IQ's 4K framework is I'm
there
told,
to use it.
Yeah. So you can get started pretty quickly. I know a coder who delivered his first 4K. That like started on Friday, delivered on Saturday, because those tools are there. It was okay, decent.
Okay. So can we say now that perhaps the 4Ks were the failed 1Ks? It's harsh, I know.
They're 1Ks with soundtracks, some of them, especially with what he's saying, with them being like one-trick ponies. There have been many better 4Ks 3 years ago than were in this compo today.
But now you have mentioned the elephant in the room, the one-trick pony.
Yeah.
It's one effect, one flyby, and
that's
repeats
what Tolle touched upon as well.
Ad infinitum. So if you don't mind, I'll go back to a session about this, because well, just the one-trick pony factor. That well, okay, there is one object with one effect, and okay, we have 75 camera angles, but still.
I think kind of like ray marching has become like the new cube. Kind of. I feel like there's so many people that think like doing a 4K or a 1K or whatever is just doing, just, you know, ray march something, do some Boolean intersections or whatever it is you do in the shaders, and, you know, fly that, like you say, use some camera angles. And I mean, that doesn't really work. MFX did not do that as far as I could see. I'm not sure what that was, but it didn't look like it, at least. So I think, yeah. No, don't do that.
Well, back in my days we called that a particle shower, but now it's with shiny.
Oh.
So yeah, so moving on to the ray marching, is too much too much?
Well, if it works, it works.
Yes,
like any production is, as he was touching on again, is a whole. And if it looks cool, I don't really care how you got there. But
that's the end package, which Tolle also mentioned, I guess.
Yeah, but I don't want to say don't go there, do something else, because if it works, it works. But yeah, there needs to be a couple of new ideas, I guess. Probably like for it to not end up like 64 category where no one feels that they can better what's been before, and then it just trickles down.
Have people perhaps gotten lazy because a 64K takes now, with all the modern tools, you can put a lot more stuff in it. So you can do more scenes, you have to do more
content,
more content, more graphics, longer music.
I think
are we getting lazy, and are we now getting lazier with adding the 1K even?
Well, yeah, possibly. So you can excuse things with a 1K. A 1K can just be an experiment. Absolutely. So let's not convict the 1Ks here, but I'm talking about the general. Well, we can do a 4K in 1 week instead of a 64K over a year. Yeah. We can.
Yes, of course you can. But the thing is that, well, how do we go against that? Or is that just the future? I mean, do we need to accept it?
I'm not sure. It does seem in some ways like the category has stagnated a little bit. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just a question for you guys, everyone, I guess. Is it really necessary to have like two categories that, you know, focus on such tight size constraints? If you can do like magic stuff with 1K, is 4K really necessary anymore?
To do 32 bytes.
Well, you could, but I mean, you know.
Yes, but then the extreme size coding is something completely different on its own, which we also mentioned that here in the 1K studio, that well, it exists longer, and now we are at the 4K level. So coming back to the compo in general, what stood out for you guys except the MFX demo? Sorry, intro. Let's start with you, Tolle.
What was the question again?
What stood out?
What stood out? And,
Okay.
and MFX doesn't count.
And MFX stood out. But yeah, what was really stood out? Yeah, the MFX one with the particles, and it looked like it looked like fireworks going off. That was nice. It was yeah, a little bit a coder demo, but that was a nice one. Just,
I see some serious nodding at Sash's side. So.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting idea.
Was there nothing else for you?
Yeah, there was I don't remember the name, but the one with the flowers and the clockwork.
Yeah.
I thought
That's
that was
the one by 7, so you go Belgium.
yeah.
I also like the one with the volumetric clouds. I forget the group.
Oh yes,
Oh,
of
yeah.
course, yeah.
And the
was good.
effect.
Yeah.
I sort of like that. At the end, it sort of overstayed its welcome a little bit. But like, could have cut some seconds. But overall, I like the visual. The visuality of that.
Yeah, because well,
I cannot remember a note of the music, which probably means it was forgettable.
well, we've already mentioned that the music saved a couple of things here left and right. But yeah, there were only 2 intros where you could say, well, here's some direction in it. There was one intro with like the semi-rotating cityscape that had some parts which maybe were repeated too much. And then you had the one from Fulcrum where you had the cogwheel changing to the flowers. Those 2 had direction, everything else didn't.
That's true.
So
it's very true, and that comes back to what I said earlier as well. People need to like start attacking these things as teams. Need to bring in someone to oversee direction. Need to bring in someone to have a look at the colors and make it a team effort.
okay, so
yeah, we're moving away from where the 4K is one guy doing everything to indeed having a musician, having more than one guy looking at the thing and going, no, that should be longer, that should be shorter. Yeah, I think we're going there.
okay.
You see more and more direction credits and demo credits, and I think intros obviously needs more touches there as well.
So now, with adding all the credits, you know, for demos who I want the beer supply credits, you do know that.
Yeah, you made that clear.
Yes, indeed. So, well, I already have told and sessions what stood out. So, for you, Manas.
As I was mentioning, the one with the volumetric clouds.
Yeah, that one.
That was my
your
pick, apart from the obvious.
The one which we will. Because it was because it was the one from MFX which kind of saved everything.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining us again. So then we will now conclude this studio segment for the 4K intros. We will be back later with our wonderful demo competition, which will start pretty soon. And for that, I have been Frankie with my guests Menes, Tolle and Sesh. I wish you a good evening.